Good afternoon, folks. This is Fred Campos, owner of DFW Website Designers. Happy Good Friday. It is April the 15th, 2022, episode number 369 of your 3 business tips at 3 o'clock in and around 3 minutes. Small business owners, solopreneurs, if you're just tuning in for the very first time, we are starting a week-long series where we're talking about making sales, the semantics of actually making sales. And we started yesterday by talking about the 3 types of leads, and today we're going to go deeper in that first type. We're going to talk about cultivated leads, giving value, slowly teaching them, and getting them to a need meaning they're going to buy your product. As we talked about yesterday, there are 3 major types of leads at 3 different levels, and I believe personally there are 3 different ways that you will work through them to get to the point of them actually buying your product or services. And the first type takes the longest, and that is a cultivated lead. As we talked about yesterday, that's a lead from which you are educating or you're reaching out to them. They're not necessarily coming to you to buy your product or service. So the first thing you're going to do about those leads is you're going to give value. Sometimes you trade something free for their email. Let's say you're giving a cooking blog, you might be educating them on recipes, and you want to get their email so that someday you may want to sell them a recipe book. Let's say you're running a car place. You know that eventually somebody's going to have to buy a new car eventually, so maybe you give them car tips on maintenance of their existing vehicle as they pay it off. Whatever it is, you're going to trade and give value for the purpose of business tip number 2, you want to slowly teach or educate them. You want to become the source from which they go to so that eventually when they get to a buying or a need situation, you have been the one that has always educated them. So this is a soft sell and a long tail approach. This is where you may be blogging, again, based on the cooking blog for a year or 2 before you give the call to action or they're ready to actually go to you to buy the recipe book, right? Business tip number 3 is eventually you're going to get them to a need. In the case of the car, you're going to give them as many elements about the car, the type of brand, maintenance on it, so because you know that over the time and years they're going to have children that need cars, their car is going to wear out, they need another car. If you are in a web design business, I might be educating over time over SEO and how to optimize your website, knowing that eventually they're going to need a redesign, in which case you get them to a need and you become the expert that they come to for need. Again, this is in describing cultivating leads. What I think you should do is you're going to have 3 different pipelines and you're going to deal with them. This is, of course, the slowest, but also has the biggest potential because it's a soft sale approach. That's what I'm learning today. Anything I learn, I throw with a fence to you because I want you guys to be awesome. Now go back to sleep.